Greetings, everyone. Happy Saturday. I'm the Moon Mama. Today is a Gemini new moon. We're having a Gemini new moon square Neptune. Good morning, good morning. And this is a really significant shift. Our lives are about to change in incredible ways that I can't really explain, but all I know is that reality itself is changing. And how we relate to reality is changing. And I really pray and hope, hope, which really means nothing, honestly, but I pray that each of you are doing the work to connect yourself from the inside to the external reality. So for the last few days, I have been talking with people who have been who are a part of the community that I am a part of starting, right? And I have started a community called Follow the Sun, and the reason that this community is near and dear to me is because it is a place where we can come together and practice our intuition, practice our magic, practice our healing abilities, practice, freeing ourselves from our trauma, practice learning how to work with the shadow and doing this outer work. Like I've created this community to support us in becoming new. Like the earth is changing and we must change. And if we don't do the work and do it in community to change, we won't be strong enough on our own individually. Hold on one second. We won't be strong enough if we've not, like, you have to practice. That's why, athletes spend so much time practicing and preparing for the game, because if you've not embodied it, wasn't last night's meditation powerful? I know, right? I know. Who is this? Like, I don't know who Niles Yoni is. Like, I'm sure I know you in the group, but I don't know your IG name. So if we're not able to practice, then we won't really know how to use our gifts. We won't really know how we function. And what that has meant for me has been profound, because I had to learn the mechanics of how I work. I had to learn how my imagination works, how my intentions work, how when I align things in my mind and my heart, how I can manifest. I had to learn. Oh, hey, Michelle, absolutely. I had to learn and I had to practice, and I needed to be around other people who were doing the same thing. Okay, great. Claude is here. Perfect. So Claude is going to come in and how do I get her here? Claude, you have to, okay, there you go. All right, perfect. I have been inviting people who are in the community to come in and talk about how they are benefiting from this work. Good morning, Claude.
It's working.
You did it. You did it.
I've never done this before, so I'm like, oh my God, how do I do this?
Congratulations, you made it.
Well, thank you for the invitation.
Thank you for saying yes. I really appreciate it. And, I have to say, having been witness to your journey in the last year has been remarkable. I love nothing more than watching people wake up to who they are. It's really like my most favorite thing in the world. It's like I get to watch people morph. Like I get to watch this caterpillar butterfly experience where people come in and they have these experience or ideas, and then they start to do the work, and then all of that changes from the inside.
Yeah. And it's so subtle that it's easy. I'm gonna get my tripod because I just
Okay.
realized, oh, I do have a way not to have to hold my phone.
Yes, yes, yes.
But while I'm doing that, I'll say it's so subtle that easy it's easy to not see it happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to kind of miss it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's like the using phase in the workshop.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking about this invitation of yours to come and share, and I was like, oh wow, that's like the using phase, because this gets me to actually, I get the opportunity to share my gratitude with you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Your guidance, and you know, it's, your guidance is beautiful because it's like you're wearing this velvet glove, but underneath is the armor of, you know, the
Yes.
you know, and you know, it's soft, but it's like that drop of water that carves a crevice in the stone over time.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's exactly what it's like. And yeah, hold on. I'm going
Okay.
to put the phone down.
Do your
But
thing. Do your
yeah.
thing. Yes, it is. The work is very subtle, and it can seem like you're not doing anything because it's that subtle. But one day you wake up and you're like, my whole world is different. Everything is different, and you've been changed from the inside out. And it's the opposite. Stop it, my aunt. Stop it. Stop it. Do you want to say hello? It's the opposite of what we, think change and transformation should look like. It actually, um, my cat insists. Okay, say hi. Say hello. Say
Hey,
hello.
Matt.
Now she acting like she's cool. Now she acting like she
Yeah.
don't care. Now she acting like she wasn't just begging. Begging. Begging.
Yeah, now she's like, oh my, it's like in life where you're like wishing and hoping that you're gonna get the thing that you keep dreaming of, and then you get it and you're like, oh crap.
Right, right. Hilarious. So I really appreciate that perspective because I think in our world we want things to happen fast, and
Mhm.
we don't realize that when things happen fast, they don't last.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
things happen from this external perspective, they don't actually give you, it's not sustainable.
Right. Right.
So I like, tell me, like, how, like, what are the things that you have seen change in yourself
Mm.
that make a difference in how you move through the world?
One word: courage. Just one word: courage. You know, I grew up in an environment, in a family
Mm-hmm.
environment, where I was not allowed to ask for what I want.
Mm-hmm.
I was, you know, and many of us have grown up in that type of environment
Yes.
where I was to do as I was told, you know, be seen, not heard, you know.
Yes. Yes.
And it has taken me many, you know, workshops, many people, and you to, and it's like I feel like the work with you is, everything has built upon
Mm-hmm.
itself. And the
Mm-hmm.
work with you, when I really started to work with you,
Mm-hmm.
I realized, oh wow, like she's actually sharing information that I've learned in other workshops that are focusing on other things. Like, you're bringing it all together. Like, yes, you're an astrologer,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
you know, I imagine that astrology, you are using astrology in the way that it was originally designed to be used.
Yes.
Not just opening the, magazine and saying, what's my month gonna be
Yes.
like? Well,
Yes.
and no, it's just beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And so growing up in that environment where I had no voice,
Mm-hmm.
working with you has given me the courage
Mm-hmm.
to stand in my truth.
Mm-hmm.
And you call yourself the moon mama, but you are like a mama to everybody in the workshop,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
you're the type of mother, how a mama bird is gonna like throw the baby bird off the limb of
Yes.
the tree and be like,
Yes.
fly, it's time
Yes.
now, fly.
Yes. Yes.
And that's how you are, like. And so to have somebody who is rooting for my success
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
also acknowledges that my inner spirit is unique to me, and that I am to express it in however way it came here to be expressed, which could look different than what you are
Yes.
offering, which could have me move away from you
Yes.
because I've gotten, like, you are so, it's so beautiful
Mm.
that growth happens because it's nurtured.
Yes. And I always say to people, if you're like, if you love the work, then stay. But if you've outgrown it, then go fly.
Yeah.
Like you're like, I'm not doing work to keep people stuck
Right.
because that is not work.
Yeah. And I remember you asking mm, us early on, how would you describe this work? And that what I shared with you still holds true
Mm-hmm.
for me. It's
Mm-hmm.
that, the way I experience your workshop is that in bite-sized pieces,
Mm-hmm.
you deliver your wisdom, and then I'm able to chew it however I want to
Mm-hmm.
chew it and digest it.
Yes.
And and go. I remember when I first started that I was just coasting, like
Mm-hmm.
at first,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just, and then little by little, like I took on a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more each month. So while you are leading the workshop
Mm-hmm.
and you create the structure
Mm-hmm.
for us to navigate in, you know, um, being able to sail through that ocean with my own winds
Mm-hmm.
has been, it's been beautiful, because that is, as I'm talking, I'm realizing, oh shit, that is what has helped me gain courage as well.
Yes.
you
Yes.
know
Yes. Yes. It is. And tell me, like, let's talk about courage because people don't realize how significant courage is. Like, I want to say this, courage is a characteristic of Aries energy. And
Mhm.
Aries is about creating your own identity. And most of us adopt what we've been given.
Mhm.
Most of us fall in line with the people that are in front of us.
Yeah.
So, in order to be true to yourself, you have to have courage to say no to things that don't really fit.
Yes.
But you've been doing it all along, or everybody else is doing it. So, talk a little bit about that for yourself.
Mm. It's very funny because I watched a video of Brene Brown talking about Maya Angelou last night,
Mm-hmm.
and now I know this question is why I watched it. Maya
Mm-hmm.
Angelou said something about belonging to no one
Mm-hmm.
but yourself. And that, it's very, at 2 months old, my parents sent me to Haiti to live with my grandparents so they could take care of me. My parents had moved to New York. I was sent to Haiti. And then when it was time to go to kindergarten, I came back to the United States. So very early on, I experienced separation, abandonment. You know, as a baby, the woman whose womb you were in for 9+ months is no longer physically there.
Yes, yes.
And so for much of my life, I was more focused on, you know, being part of something, being part of a group, because, you know, for whatever reason. And to be able to say no thank you to something, despite that fear I used to have of being alone,
Yes,
and abandoned. You know, it takes a lot of courage. Courage is the courage is the willingness to, when that moment arrives, take a breath, feel within myself, recognize what my truth is, and despite what everybody on the outside says, follow my truth.
yes, yes. Thank you for that. I want to just say, because we live in a culture that creates this ownership of women. Your parents own you. Your husband own you. The religions own you. Like everything is dictating how you should be.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing I have discovered and learned doing this work is that I belong to nobody, which is what you said. I belong to myself. I am a free woman.
Yeah.
Free to choose and create as I desire on my own terms. And most women are not. Most women are subject to their spouses, their jobs, the government, their patterns, their trauma. And to be a free woman is pure God power, because women are the creators and generators of reality. So if women don't own themselves, we are creating and generating for everyone else. It's inside of your mind. You're thinking, what are they going to think? And how is this? And you feel it in your body. And the moment you realize, I'm going to do what is right for me and me alone, you literally change the game. And you become more valuable to yourself, but to other people as well, because you are actually fucking free.
Yeah. And I've always admired, you know, how when you see older people, like older women, they're in, I don't know, their 70s or 80s, and they're sitting there cussing, and they're saying what they feel like saying. And I was like, I want to be her. You know, like, you don't care what people think, like what you want to say. You know, my mom has dementia. And people look at me and say, oh my God, that's so sad. And I look at them and I say, she's living her best life. you know, and, you know, right now she's in an assisted living place, and she believes she only goes there for her meals, that my father, who's passed away, is at home waiting to come pick her up. It's like the life that she's living now, you know, is not as beautiful as the life that she's living in her head.
Wow.
And my understanding of what her experience of life is now is that it's just a continuation of what she's done ever since I've known her. She's always changed reality in her mind to fit what felt better for her. So she would refuse what she was seeing.
Yes. Oh.
And my sense is that that gymnastic that she used to consciously do, as we get older, you know, things don't work in the same way. And so her mind has taken over and is on autopilot and is doing that for her now. And I think to myself, it's like, wow, okay, like, look how powerful, you know, that is, that during her whole life, she constantly tried to change what she was seeing because to stay in a rigid thing.
Yes.
And now the rigid thing has her in its walls and she can't get out.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
And I want for my life, like, if something is uncomfortable, I'm so grateful that now I have the courage to be like, oh no, you didn't. You know, I'm so grateful that and it's thanks to what I've experienced with my parents.
Yes.
You know, while there were aspects of it that were difficult, I also understand that my inner spirit chose that experience.
Yes.
And what is in it for me? What did it teach me? As you often share about your own experience, you know, the resistance to acknowledging my experience and what it is, the resistance to being willing to dig deep and say, well, what's in it for me?
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
That resistance is deadly because it can kill that inner spirit.
Yes.
And the courage to go in and to lean into the discomfort.
Yes.
You know, tension is a good thing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. As you know very well as a Gemini, because those polarities live inside of you so distinctly. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And I'm, you know, and as you put it, I'm living it now. It's like, oh my God, like I'm in this, for the first time I'm in a void. I'm like, oh, this is exciting.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. And you're not rushing to fill it up, right? You're literally willing to sit with it because you've made yourself comfortable enough in foreign territory that you can now sit and allow your magic, your subconscious, your power to actually bring in, to actually call to you what is best for you. Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing. It's amazing. And again, I'll say it's thanks to you because, you know, working with you has built my confidence in myself. My, you know, every moon cycle where we have to intuit our goal. There was a time when I'd be like, wow, is that really my goal? But really? Like, is that right? Is that the right goal?
Yeah.
And getting to the place where I just go with what I get. And I trust that that is divinely inspired. And I wait and see what it brings to my life.
Yes. Yes. It's such a powerful thing. The moon work is my favorite. I mean, there are a lot of other things that I do, but the moon work, we get to practice using our intuition. We get to practice connecting to our higher selves. We get to practice um, our imagination and how we create from the inside through our imagination. We get to practice the embodiment of our feelings. What does it feel like? And all of this is feminine power. Like people, there are these incredible discussions going on around what it means to be feminine, but nobody's actually practicing it. Like it's like I said, you have to practice it. So then when you're out in the real world, you can then say, how do I do? So when you're at work and somebody's not being kind, you have a practice in your body that allows you to be with the actual experience because you've been practicing how to use your subconscious, how
Mm-hmm.
to use your ability to vision, how to use your telepathy,
Mm-hmm.
how to use your psychic abilities, how to use, like you've been practicing. So when it shows up, you're like, oh, I know how to do this.
Yeah.
And nothing throws you off your game.
No. You said to me once in one of our private sessions something that really, really struck home. And you know, I was having something going on at work, and you're like, Claude, you created the owners of the shop. You created the shop. And because I spent a lot of my life putting certain people here and me here.
Yes.
And with that comment, you had me begin to see that everyone is here. It doesn't matter what position you have in the physical 3D world.
Yes.
But if you're living your truth, and your truth is to be a supporting actor to somebody,
yes.
then you're here.
Yes.
If you're living your truth, and your truth is to be a supporting actor, but you are acting like the main character, then that's when this starts to happen.
Yes.
You know? And so to have the conscious, to be gifted, for you to give me that gift to say, you created this experience. You created these people. They are here for you. You created the structure of your job. It is here for you. I took a situation where from the beginning, the people I work for said no to what I was asking for, to where today we went from them saying no to here's a compromise of how we can do this, to them going back to what I asked for in the beginning. I'm never going to tell them, you know, you realize that this is what I asked for in the beginning. I'm never going to tell them that.
Yes.
And I did that without struggle on the outside. You know, I did that, but by becoming conscious of my power as a creative being conscious that these people are here for me. So what am I to learn? And placing myself on the same level as them, and therefore coming to the table empowered. And they just slowly, you know, it's like when a book is on a bookshelf and you're like, oh, it's out of line, and you slowly push it back into line. It's like, all right, now I can work here.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Wow, Claude. I'm so grateful. Thank you for being a part of the community. I'm so looking forward to how you're going to flourish, or how you're flourishing, because I know I can feel it. And I'm just, I love watching women come into to themselves and own themselves. That's what I was like, to own yourself, because when you own yourself, you make the world better for everyone.
Yeah.
Because women are the conduits by which the invisible comes into the experienced. So when you are your own master, when you are aware that you are your own master, you make the world better for everybody.
Yeah.
Because you're not trying to manipulate or control other people by becoming the master of them. You literally are just in your own power. And the universe responds to that.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be about a particular person, because it's about an energy, and the energy is going to make sure that you're going to have the experience that you're meant to have, because you're energetically aligned inside of you.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you. I have a reading that I actually need to go do.
Yes.
I have a client waiting for me. So I'm sorry that I have to go. But thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
But before we go, do you want to tell people where they can find you? Is there anything?
Yeah. So my IG is Claude Hall Songstress. I'm also a jazz singer. You can find my website at claudehalljazz.com. betterment.com. And yeah, that's basically for the most part where you can find me. And I'm working on some other projects, and we'll see where else that will be. But yeah, come to my IG, say hi.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you want to hear more about my journey with Monique, I am always very, happy to share.
Thank you so much. I absolutely love and adore you. And I'll talk to you soon.
Yes.
Okay. Bye
Bye.
bye.